Alrighty, so welcome back to this old staff or whatever else I want to make. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down the staff that I harvested, and the big test is going to be, can the lights and the saw operate at the same time? This is going to be the test, because it's not really a good setup here, but we'll see what happens. So I got my staff. Now the wife doesn't need as tall as mine, so mine's about up here. I'm gonna bring this one down about here. So what I need to do is I kind of need to not cram my fingers on the anvil and pull the light kind of out of the way. There we go. Bring this across. Got my safety glasses on. And let's give it a cut for size. I always will sit there and kind of err on the length a little bit. If you cut it off too much, it's too late. It's too late, baby. All right. Let's find out. So it did dim the lights, but it worked. So this will be future handle material. And I think it's about perfect. So what I want to do is I probably want to clean off this end just a little bit. Although I probably will make that into a point. I think that'll be perfect for the wife. So now it's time to sit there and clean that up. So, in doing so, we unplug the power tool. There we go. And kind of push it in the back out of the way. Let's bring the vise back around. Now what I can do is I can actually use the vise to lock in this. And I use a cloth just to give it some protection. I don't know how necessary it really is, but I have it. So let's use it. So now I just need to work with a blade. I got my gloves. Now let's go get my blade. So I got my blade. Now I do somewhere in the house, got a draw knife that would work better. But until then, I kind of like the idea I'm using tools that I made. So basically, you kind of find which way the grain's going. There we go. And just kind of do some shaving. And we just do this a little at a time. Now, stop over, John. Where the knots are. Takes a little bit more work. And what I'm doing is this will help the wood dry. I need that to happen before I can do any staining. So I think what I'm going to do is adjust where I'm doing this. And possibly it won't. Come on, there we go. And at one point I will have to bolt this twice down. There we go. You can see, I'm probably blocking it. There we go. It's not going as smooth as I thought it would. I may actually start doing this a different way. And that's another thing is you don't want to try to rush it. Because when you rush things, that's when mistakes happen. And I got plenty of time to work on this, got all winter. It's highly doubtful we'll do any trail hiking in the cold weather. Not that you can't. You definitely can. I'm just saying it's probably not going to happen. So, I think Mama's now home. Oh, let's pull this out of the vise. We got some work done on it. I think this is going to probably be the easiest way of doing it, just grabbing it and just running it through like normal. All the hard parts are is when you get into a knot. But luckily, this knife is beefy enough to work through it. There we go. And I am going to take a lot more weight off of this one. It's almost like when you're making a knife. I was refurbishing this. I took some weight off the blade because it was heavier than it needed to be. A lot of times they'd make this blade half as thick, but I knew what I'm using this for. This is a survival knife, so it has to be beefier than your standard knives. Yeah. So this will be my pet project. Her mama is home, so I'm gonna go help put the groceries and I'll come back out. Alrighty, I'm back. So let's continue to work on this. Alright. So let's continue working on this. So the shavings, I will sweep up later. Like I said, with these knots, you need a solid knife like this to get through it. Now, on a blade like this, what I can do is I can have one side I can make more of a fine edge and the other one more of a axe type edge, which I may do here come this year, later on. Because this is going to be my main tool to start it off. Then the shavings I'll keep for fire starter. So one thing about ash, it is a very hard wood. There we go. Now I did take that down a lot deeper than I was planning, but it might be useful. Maybe I'll do an inlay in there. So I just made this leave that there. I don't know if you can see it. I got like a groove here. And I'm thinking maybe some sort of silver inlay. You know, I could drill a few holes deep so it would hold. Then we could put that in there, sand it fine, and then I could use some punch letters, put some sort of, you know, my name on it or something like that, or whatever wife would want, because she's going to have a lot of input on how it gets finally decorated. She's very creative. I'm just doing the brute work here, getting it down to the wood. And probably get it stained. Right now I'm just getting this shredded so it can dry, and I'll bring it back in the house and let it dry for a while. I'm getting quite a pile here. So it's a cold Sunday. I am going to bring a propane heater out here. Imagine when I get the forge going, it'll heat up pretty quick too. I'm thinking Tuesday might be the day I start the forge up. Monday I want a bench. And I may go out the shore for that. If I don't make shoreward, then it'll be back to Pontiac. I do have that Kevin who works out there. He's usually there about the same time I am. So that's a sign of a sharp, well-made steel blade. I really don't have to sharpen it that often. I probably will after this one. So if you are interested in me making you one, I'd do it. I just had to figure out how much I would charge. There's obviously a lot of labor involved. Raw materials is pretty cheap. Whew. There you go. It's a lot of work. Woo-wee! We having fun or what? So once I get all this bark off, I'll have the wife test it for how it feels weight-wise. If it's too heavy, I can just take more off and slowly decrease the weight. Wow. That's the only bend in this staff, and it's all right. They're supposed to have some bends in them. There, you know, I'm doing short strokes because I don't want to, you know, stab myself. Now when I'm cutting away from me, I don't have to worry about that. Boy, that's a lot of walk. But if it's coming down quick, yeah, I mean, that's what you can do when you got a nice sharp blade. Let's get my safety glasses back on. This is a workout. So, I can tell I'm taking quite a bit of weight off it. And basically, it's so uniform. But I think this is going to be the top. So I'm going to So I know that's the top. So you can't see is there, they gotta fine shave it. Just get the rest of the bark off. This is getting to be a endurance. Woo-wee! Almost there. Well, if you aren't interested in me making any one of these, make me an offer. To be honest with you, as much effort I put into these things, and I'm going to have to figure so many hours I have involved. But I would probably, that's making an offer, I'll see. Hate to put a price on it. Almost there. Woo! Hell of a climb. I want to feel that one. I hate to stop when I'm so close. Just about there. I can still do some refining at a later time. But I wanted to get the lion's share done here. Wow. It's cold too. Good enough for government work. Yeah, I got a huge pile of wood here. Shavings, which would be great. It'd be very useful. So, I'll shoot this up as a premiere by around 5 p.m. Hope you guys join in. I want to thank everybody who did show up for my giveaway. It went very well, and I do appreciate the support from the community. Remember, rest, nutrition, proper exercise. Go for walks, have fun. Freeze your hands off. Everybody have a wonderful weekend.